Hi everyone, this is Jay from HustlePaintball.com. Today, we finally have our review of the Planet Eclipse Etha. You know, our review, much like this marker, has been a long time coming. So, we're going to get right into it, show you what you get in the box, what the marker looks like, how it performs, how to maintain it, and what it's like actually on the field. So without any further wait, let's get right to what you guys get. Alright, so let's get right to it. So first things first, you get the box itself, which has Planet's HDE pattern on it, branding, the whole bit. They're definitely going for kind of a almost, I hesitate to say milsim look, but definitely more woods ball theme, with really the whole package, and we'll get to that a little bit later. So, you know, of course, open it up, and inside, as is Planet style, you get an excellent case. In the case of this one, it looks, well, admittedly, like a jerry can, but it's really high quality. It'll really protect your marker. Good clips on the back, so go ahead, open it up. As always with all Planet products, it uses laser cut foam to actually protect the marker itself. So, moving on, we have Planet's full color instruction manual. Has everything you will need in it, how to take your marker all the way apart, everything. We'll cover most of that in the video, but in case you don't have our video handy, or your internet's out or something like that, then you'll have this as a backup. It also has troubleshooting, how to program your board, an exploded view, normal sizes for all the O-rings and screws. Planet's documentation is absolutely stellar. Next, of course, Planet's barrel bag. Can't not have that. The included Planet Eclipse grease. Now since this marker doesn't need both oil and grease, it comes with the grease. It's the only thing you'll need for any of the marker. Next, of course, is the Allen keys, which are always fun to get out right at the beginning before they get broken in. All the sizes you'll need for pretty much the entire marker to take it all the way apart, except for a few very specific occasions, which we'll go over as well. All the spare parts you could ever need. It has every single seal in the marker, new bolt face O-rings, screws, extra springs, all kinds of stuff. So everything you need here to rebuild the marker at least once. And then, of course, the Etha itself. So you have the marker and the shaft for two-piece barrel, which screws together, as you guys have probably all seen, more than a few times. So, get that, put it on, and there you go. I mean, that's it. That's pretty much everything you get in the box. We'll get into the specifics of the marker here in just a moment. So, starting at the bottom here, we have one of Planet's excellent on-off ASAs. In the case of this one, it has a composite knob, which is nice and big and chunky, easy to use when your hands are sweaty or covered in paint. Moving up the macro line here, you have the SL3 reg, which started on the SLS and has been on every Planet Eclipse marker since. Going up to the body is aluminum, as is the barrel. The eye plate here is composite, and the grip frame. The grip frame is, you know, just as comfortable, just as nice. It doesn't have the rubber on the high-end markers does, but it's still very comfortable. The trigger, 3 points of adjustment, pretty good, pretty standard for the entry-level markers, much like the E-Tech. On the grip frame here, new grip panels. The reason these are significant, I suppose, is first of all, they're not the normal squishy panels that we've had on Planet markers forever, so they don't wear out really as far as we can tell at all. That's still very comfortable, and they only have one screw, so one less thing to take apart at the end of the day. Moving back up the body here, take the bolt out the back, the entire bolt assembly will come out. Clamping feed neck, and of course the shaft for barrel. So let's get inside and show you what it looks like on the inside. Alright, so at the end of a hard day of play, you're going to have to field strip this. To clean it, take it apart, and just do your standard maintenance. Now to do that, you just unscrew the cap here, and you'll pull the entire bolt assembly out. However, if your hands are slippery, it's covered in paint, or you just don't feel like cranking on it, the largest Allen key from your set will fit in the back, and you can unscrew it with that to get it started. So, like I said, just unscrew this, and the entire bolt assembly will pull right out the back. Put that aside. You have your spring, the bolt itself, which has this nice little soft tip on it. These are replaceable. They will wear out eventually, but Planet does provide some more. The bolt guide, which unscrews from the rest of the valve assembly. In here is the valve itself, the poppet, and a couple other things that are user serviceable, but you don't have to very often, so don't worry about it. If you do end up having to take these apart, there are some flat spots right here for you to grip or put a wrench on so you can take them apart. But you don't have to do that very often, so we won't need to get into that in the case of this video. So these all go right back together, they came apart, and we can get into how to take apart the rest of the marker. Alright, so now to get inside the marker itself and maintain the internals, take your macro line out, just like on all the other Planet markers. Unscrew your SL3 rag, which has been gone over in our Ego 11 video a little bit more thoroughly by Ching. She did a better job. So, we won't get into the insides of that, but it is the standard SL3 rag. It does have the markings so that you know which way to adjust your velocity. To actually get inside the marker itself, we're going to start by taking off the screws on the grip panels here. There's one on each side. So, get right to that. So, now that we have the screws out, you can just lift the grip panels off. Underneath it, you have the board, all the wires that go to the solenoid, the micro switch, and the eyes respectively. The battery itself, which, much like on the E-Tech, is on a harness. And on the inside of the grip, there are the color codes for how to change the board settings, which is always kind of nice. Now, if you take the other side off mistakenly thinking it's the wrong one, it's just a bunch of plastic. So don't be surprised if you're wondering where the insides of your marker are. They're on the other side. Now, we're going to continue. Make sure when you take your grip frame off that you unplug gently all these wires. The best way to do it is to grip it as close as you can to the little connector and pull straight up. Do it slowly and they will work themselves free. So you definitely do not want to break these wires because it is a pain if you do. But they come out pretty painlessly. We're ready to take the grip frame screws out. Alright, so once you have the wires taken out carefully, as I said, as well as the screws, you can separate the halves of the marker. Now, the first thing you're going to notice is the solenoid here is oriented vertically, which is, as far as I'm aware, the first time that Planet has done this. Take this, set it off to the side, and we're going to bring the camera in so I can really show you the details of the body of the marker. Alright, so here we have the body of the marker. Starting at the front, you have the torpedo, and you'll notice that there's no low pressure line that runs back to the solenoid. Now, this is because what Planet has done is actually drilled a channel through the marker body itself that runs back to the manifold and into the solenoid. So that's a first for these markers. It's particularly handy because now you won't damage it, and it makes the marker just a little bit simpler and less places for it to go wrong. Next, we have the eyes. We'll show you what it looks like under the eye plates in just a moment. But just like that, they have a channel machined here for the eye wires, so you won't pinch them. It'll hold them in place when you put the grips back together. Moving back, of course, we have the solenoid itself and the manifold. Now, you shouldn't have to take these things apart, but if you do, it's pretty painless. But if you're not having problems with it, just don't mess with it. It's only going to probably make your problems worse. So now we're going to show you what the eyes look like, and then we'll show you what it's like in the grip frame. Alright, I just wanted to go over some of the new features about the eyes, because it's pretty clever, and I think it's worth mentioning. So, take your eye plate off. Not very hard. It comes right off. Now, underneath it, you have, of course, your eyes and the ball detents. So in case you need to change these, they will wear out eventually. Ball detents are here. Here are your eyes. Now, the part that is really clever that I really liked is, for the first time that I'm aware, these have these little grooves here. I don't know if you can see it properly, but they're these little grooves. Pretty much what this does is it actually prevents you from pinching your eye wires, which anyone who's owned a Planet marker, or really any marker that has eyes, it's reason enough to celebrate. I just wanted to point that out. It's really, really, really difficult to pinch your eyes here. Now, put it back. You just get it to clip into place and put it back on like that. Screw back down and it'll hold everything in place. So just a little quick thing that I thought was worth mentioning because it was pretty clever. So, alright, now we're going to get into the grips. Alright, so here we have the grip frame for the Etha. Starting at the bottom at the ASA here, you have these two screws. These are used to adjust where the ASA sits. You can do this to change how your marker feels. Make sure you do crank them down though, and check them every now and then because they will vibrate loose from time to time. Moving up, we have the board itself. It's just held in here with these little clips. They come out pretty painlessly if you need to replace it, although you shouldn't. Moving up a little farther, we have the micro switch. This is what actually activates the marker. Now, if you need to replace this for any reason, it's just held in place with some clips. These are the clips right here. They just pop off and the micro switch will be released. Moving up a little bit more, we have the trigger itself. Now the trigger does have 3 points of adjustment, but there is a 4th screw in there that you don't need to mess with unless you're going to take your trigger out. It's the second one if you're stuck counting from the beginning. It goes at a 45-degree angle and it holds the trigger pin in. So if you need to take your trigger out, you need to take that out. It'll release the trigger pin. Now, last but not least, if you are taking your trigger out, what you need to do is this spring right here has a screw. This is the only screw that holds this right angle spring in place, and it's what allows the trigger to return. So, now that we've gone through all the aspects of the grip frame, we're going to put everything back together and put some paint through it. Alright guys, so now we went outside, got the Etha here, we're going to take some shots with it, give you our opinions, impressions of actually how it shoots and feels in your hand. Because, you know, just watching me shoot it, it's not the same. It's about how the marker feels, what it feels like in your hands, just all that kind of stuff that you can't just get just from watching us rip it. So we'll shoot it a little bit, then we'll actually tell you how we feel, we think about the marker. So let's get to it. Yeah, it's pretty satisfying. The first thing that comes to mind, you can feel the marker move under your hands. You can feel it when the solenoid actuates. You can feel like the regs. You can feel it reverberating your hands. It's very different than my Ego. I really like how it feels in your hands. The grip's very comfortable. The stance is very natural. It's very familiar to me. Yeah, but I'm gonna hand it off. Let somebody else take a shot with it and give you their impressions as well. The other thing is, we're going to take a couple shots over our chronograph, a Virtue clock here, just to show you guys about the consistency and that sort of stuff, what you can actually expect in the real world with a real marker. So we're going to get the clock out, shoot it, so that you see for yourself. Alright, so got our Virtue clock, we're going to take a couple shots. I'll read them out because you might not be able to see this. So 283, 278, 282, 284, 299, that was a little high, 285, and 282. So, pretty consistent, pretty good over the chrono. 1 or 2 errant ones in there, but you know, it's paintball, so not a huge deal. Now we're gonna let someone else take a shot with it and see what they think, how they feel about the marker, how it actually feels in their hands.
Alrighty guys, outside with the Etha, let's see what she does. And Jay is definitely right about being able to feel the mechanics in the grip. It definitely has a different feel to it, but it still shoots really smooth, accurate, tracks well. It feels good on your shoulder. You know, it's not an awkward length. It's not an awkward grip. It just feels really solid. I mean, it shoots nice. Like I said, you definitely feel it a little bit more in your grip, just I think with the solenoid right inside your hand. But I actually like it. You know, you feel a little bit more connected to it. But yeah, all in all, shoots great. I have, you know, high hopes for the Etha.
So there you have it, the Planet Eclipse Etha. Now, first off, you know, I think this is a great marker, very versatile. With the new colors coming out, as well as the body kits coming out for it, it's going to be a really fantastic marker. However, with that in mind, you know, it's not an Ego 11, it's not a Geo, and it's not even an E-Tech, right? Now, despite the fact that it does have the same barrel and the same reg that all its big brothers have, it does have a couple of, you know, I don't want to say issues, but things you need to be aware of if you're going to buy one. The first and most important one is its efficiency. It's a little hungry, particularly even for a poppet valve marker. It goes through gas kind of fast. In our testing off a 6845, it got somewhere between, you know, 6 and 8 pods, depending upon, you know, many different factors. You know, temperature and all that stuff. So with that in mind, it has some drawbacks, but ignoring those for the moment, for the amount that you get for the value with the tools, the case, the manual, all that stuff, it's a fabulous marker. So long as you're aware of its 1 or 2 concerns. As always, you can get the Planet Eclipse Etha, the rest of Planet's line, and any other paintball product you need here at hustlepaintball.com. We've been doing a lot of work with our social media, so make sure to read our blog, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter. Now we have a lot of more videos coming up, so make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And, of course, check out PB Riot. People will be talking about this and all our other videos really, really soon. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.